It is 12:30, so let's get started with our first culture talk of 2026. Thank you everybody for being here today, and for those of you who are joining us online. I'm really happy to start the year off with something that I think is a really important and relevant thing to talk about, and that is creating and connecting community. When we were looking at a panel for this one, I have to say that we were really spoiled for choice. There's a whole lot of people across the college who spend every day building community and creating a great space for their students, their colleagues, and everybody else in our community. So we've got a small but meaningful cross-section of folks here today to chat a little bit about how they see and build community here. So I will get them to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Jaron Brown. I'm president of the Confederation College Performing Arts Club. I'm a third-year interactive media development student, currently on placement here at the college in the Applied Research and Innovation Office.
Hi, I'm Rose Hankio, and I'm the lead integration facilitator in the Community Integration Through Cooperative Education program, commonly known as CIC.
Bonjour, Shadow. Shadow the Digicause. Nokamingwaning Nindoji. My name is Shadow. I work in Apuin. I'm an Indigenous student advisor and part-time prof, faculty, whatever the title is for Confederation College, right now in the Indigenous Advocacy Program.
And my name is Ryan Sigurdsson. I'm the Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Advisor here at the college, and I'm also really pleased to be here today to help facilitate this discussion. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So when you think about community at Confederation College, what does it look or feel like to you from your perspective?
So with community in Confederation College, I think it's a lot about just bringing people together, both within the college itself and outside the college as well. Particularly with the Performing Arts Club, we gather students together to perform and create something, but then we also have to then get the audience to come in and watch us, so that we're building that community within the college through the students, but then also outside the college by bringing in the audience, and then also working together with some of the other local theater groups who we have connections with through members of the club. And so they promote us, we promote them. We also typically will do a variety show where we bring in people from outside the college as special guests. So then creating like further branches outwards towards a joined community.
From the perspective of a CIC team member, all of us share this I guess, practice, but something that's really important to build community with our students is by being known. So we know all of our students by name, by strength, by need. And it's really important when you're relationship building and trying to create that sense of belonging with our students. And then as a team, we work hard at developing consistency and trust with our students. So when students see the same team members, showing up day after day, and peers as well, it helps to create that feeling of safety for them. And then peer connection is extremely important. So CIC staff do work and drive community in our program, but some of the strongest bonds can be found between peers who, develop those really important friendships, or can be those supports to one another in class, for example, as well. And I think if anyone has walked past our CIC space, you will see our students sitting together, not only, spending time with one another, but also engaging with other people around the college, whether it's other students or staff as well.
Thank you. You know, I have an opportunity to actually work in Appuin, so you'd think this question's fairly easy for me, but you know, we do so much in there that it's hard to choose one. Um, so I'm gonna cheat. I got my brochure right here. So, you know, academic sport support is number one. We're in a post-secondary institute, so academics has to be number one. So being able to see students, push themselves and be as successful as they can is one of the truly the best parts of my job. Number two, cultural connection. I would have never thought, me going to university and then, finding a job that I would be able to do that and get paid for it. We're in a changing time where that responsibility is huge for post-secondary and education as a whole. So being able to bring elders and community members and knowledge keepers into our space or into the college is just awesome. And I get a paycheck for it. Win-win. Events and workshops. This is up there too. Thank you for the brochure, whoever made this. You're making my me being up here very easy. But events and workshops, we do cultural events, which is perfect. We find positive outcomes out of that for all students, not just Indigenous. But sometimes we need to just be able to relax. And I don't like saying normal events and workshops, but last semester I started a video game night, and I was thinking, 10, 15 students, but we had like 30, 35, and we played, I don't know what the game was, but Smash Brothers or something like that. And we had a blast. And, I was expecting an email next morning, a noise complaint email, but we were good. We were in there and just having a blast. So, I mean, we do see it from both sides, right? The Indigenous connection and just the have fun stuff. And then workshops, we love getting community members in our space and doing lunch and learns and just making sure that our students know that there's many supports out there. Hold on, looking at the question. Yeah.
Turn my own off there for a second. All right, thank you so much, everybody. And I think a really beautiful thread that tied all of those answers together was that no pocket of community really exists in a vacuum, that there's always something that's tying it to other aspects as well, that we exist together even when we are focusing on something. And that really leads into this really nicely too. So can you share any moments where you had that flashbulb moment of realizing that you noticed a sense of belonging or connection, either for yourself or somebody that you're working with?
The one moment that really stands out for me with that is a couple of years ago, we were doing, every year, the theater club, we have a member, we have like a recruitment night where we get new potential members to come in to just tell them what we're doing in the show. And there was one particular member that year who came in very shy, very quiet, and through the shows we were doing that year ended up getting cast as that very shy, quiet character. I think in most scenes he was like a put upon just working class person who usually got berated by a main character just because he had that, not because we were being mean, but because he had just that very mousy demeanor about him. But then after a couple of shows with us, we were doing our variety show where we asked for students to contribute whatever it is they feel like making for a bunch of short skits or less moments. And this one member who again came to us very shy and quiet and barely ever said anything offered to sing a song at the variety show, which was really great to see, just that level of comfort that we were able to give to somebody by bringing them into this space and being able to support them and bring out a side that you would not expect from them.
I've got two very different, I know you asked for one, but I want to share two if I can, please. So we held our 10-year CIC reunion in August of 2022. And just given how many of our grads attended and other, people who were invited to the event, I think it just blew us away to see everyone back together, to, hear them update us on where they're at this point in time, but also to share some of their memories and experiences here at Confederation College and in the CIC program. That night was just incredible, and just the energy in the room that night, which was great. And then just yesterday, as an example, at our career fair, one of our grads attended. She had her resumes in a folder ready to go. She did a little tour of all of the employers, but then she stayed basically near CIC all day and visited with some of her friends and some of the staff. And she spent the whole day here, and she, really enjoyed it, which was wonderful to see.
I'll do two as well. I'll try to be quick though. So we have a regular student in Apuin, and this student had a placement at a local high school, and seeing the excitement, I think I just heard her laugh. Yep, she's walking away. She was telling me that she's telling other students like what we do in Apuin and like how it's making a positive impact in her education. And she was telling the students like, you got to go talk to James or Shadow or Zika and like we're gonna get them here in the lounge at the high school, and they'll talk to you about all the programs. Like just seeing that just blew my mind. I was just so happy. And then so that's okay. No. I'm cheating here. I got the questions in front of me. And then my second one was one day I was walking for a coffee, and like 4 or 5 people like stopped me and were like congratulating me on finishing my master's. And I was like, how does everyone know that? Like what's going on? But don't tell the president. I might have missed that town hall meeting. So like, oh yeah, like, oh, congratulations. I was like, thank you. What did I accidentally email something? And they're like, oh yeah, the president shouted you out on the president town hall. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, I saw that. I had a student in my office, probably. I don't know. But yeah, so like just, being in that small community setting and people knowing like what's going on, and, encouraging everyone to, strive for more, I think it's awesome.
Awesome. It's always amazing to see people grow into themselves and really embrace either new facets of themselves or come into their own, but also to feel recognized and seen by your own community and, have people congratulate you for those really big and wonderful moments. With that said, there are sometimes peaks and valleys, and sometimes people do find it difficult to participate, or they feel unable to sometimes. From your perspective and experience, what can sometimes drain a person's ability or sense of engagement or the ability to connect? And how can we help them with that?
For me, it can be like that sense of I'm very like introverted. Like when I'm performing, I can be a completely different person, but when I go like off stage or even at an event like this, I'm much shyer. I have a hard time talking when I don't have a script in front of me, so I'm doing pretty good. The So it's that, the social battery kind of thing where it's like you're around people a lot, and then it's slowly you're losing your ability to like have that connection because it's like a week you just can't. It's hard to get that like enthusiasm out there because like right now we have a show this weekend, and so it's been a lot of rehearsals, and so it's like we were at rehearsal last night, we're going to be at rehearsal tonight again, so it's like that uh like just wanting to get a break because of just how much you're around people, and even though you love all these people, it still is that kind of like I would like some alone time. So but I guess a part of it is to like kind of maintain the momentum is to like I guess focus more on like the outward effects that what you're doing is having on you rather than the inward. Like right now I'm feeling very like worn out because we have the show coming up and lots of rehearsals, but at the same time we've got the show coming up, so it's like like the anticipation of seeing like people are actually going to watch this soon, and we're going to get like that jolt of energy from like the end product coming out. So I guess what I think I'm saying is kind of maintaining like that if you yourself are starting to feel kind of burned out or feeling like kind of lost from that sense of community, it might be looking at shifting your focus more to what you're accomplishing in that community rather than spending too much time on the effect that it's having on you, and then kind of using that the good thing you're doing in the community to like feedback to restore some of that energy, and then just also knowing that it's like the end is for this particular show, the end is near, so it's like soon I can rest and then we start the next show. But yeah, so focusing on the outward effect you're having. I'm going to stop now because I think I'm just trailing off.
So I would say life stress outside of school definitely can impact engagement. If someone doesn't feel seen or understood as well. And then really important for everyone, especially our students, lack of choice or control. So something to help bring that back, providing opportunities for people to engage through what they enjoy or are good at. So using more of a strength-based approach. Again, being seen and welcomed is so important. Acknowledging people by name, their efforts, checking in to make sure they're okay.
Well, post-secondary was never made to be easy. I don't think there's, you can't talk about education and use the word easy. And a lot of students, may think that they can, but it just never works out that way. So, encouragement's huge in Apuin. Pushing forward is huge in Apuin. And, that encouragement's big. So the engagement and, that like on the helping side of it, encouraging to attend class, huge. But even just things we do in Apuin, the cultural connections, the workshops and events that we hold, being able to turn off your brain from your education is something very hard to do, but we try to do it in a different way that makes it more meaningful for them. And like I said before, we do various events and cultural connections.
I think what really strikes me about everything that's just been said, it pairs two really great concepts together, that while there is a sense of responsibility that's associated with everything that's been discussed, There's also still a sense of welcome to make sure that people know that they're able to engage, that they are welcome, and they can follow the natural wax and wane of life and still feel like they can re-engage in a safe and healthy way with support. In that vein, if somebody does want to engage either initially or again, but they don't feel like they know how, do you have any tips or advice for them?
So do you mean like in like just any sort of community or in our community specifically?
If you have a general answer, you can give a general answer, or if you'd like to go specifically with Performing Arts Club, then you can go there too.
I think with sort of looking for community, trying to find, like, get involved, find something, I think it's important to just always, like, if you don't have something like that, it's important to always be looking and always be trying, because no matter how weird you think you are or how like niche you think your interest, there's definitely going to be someone out there who is going to share those interests. And so I think the important thing is to just always be searching for that place, and while bearing in mind that like not every place you're going to go is going to be like the perfect fit, but you could at least give it a shot. And if you really feel like you've done your best and it's not what you were looking for, that's fine. But just don't give up on finding those people who you'll eventually realize are just as important to you as like family or like more like long-term friends. Because if you don't keep looking, you're not going to find them. And I think that answer makes sense.
I think this is something we do as facilitators, and our field placement coordinator does as well on a daily basis. So in terms of encouraging that engagement then, so we may have to break down that engagement into smaller doable steps. So maybe the individual is going to observe for a bit, get more comfortable, participate with the support of a staff member or with a peer, and taking that one step forward and choosing one small task, for example. Again, choice is so important. Give students choice about how they engage, whether they're going to be speaking, observing, listening, taking on again a task or more of one-on-one interaction. I think those are really important.
Yeah, you know what? Just come on out in Appian. Ask questions, join in what we're doing that day. Come say hi. So I mean, we're pretty versatile in there, and we encourage it too. We encourage everyone to come in and learn with us and ask questions. One piece of advice is, if it feels a little awkward, that's totally fine, because we're all learning. And then my second advice would be come to the feast tomorrow. So there'd be lots of learning there, and yeah.
Excellent. So oftentimes when it does come to finding community, really a lot of it is about trying, about reaching out when you feel ready, and knowing that success is any action of doing, even if that's just observing or figuring it out, and working through that awkwardness sometimes, because it might feel awkward at first, but maybe it will eventually feel like you found home again. So for the last thing that I kind of want to discuss with everybody is something for you to share with the audience in general, so everybody who's online and here with us today, do you have any tips for them, for everybody, on what they can do to foster a sense of community and inclusion here at the college? How can we all lead from wherever we're standing?
Like I was saying before, it always be looking for people with those like-minded interests. I know that with Suki, the student union, there's a lot of opportunity. There's various different clubs that you can join, not just the theater club, but then there's also opportunities to, like, if you think you can get enough if you're willing to work to, like, get the interests out there, you can create your own club or your own community as long as it fits certain guidelines. But with that, it gives you the opportunity where if you think, hey, I think a lot of people might be into this, you can start up your own club. That's happened with the Maker Club and the Board Game Club and the I think there's a Dungeons and Dragons Club now, right? So yeah, you can join a pre-existing club. You can make one of your own. And just keep reaching for that connection. Keep looking for those people who share your interests.
I think inclusion happens when people feel like they belong, when they're seen and they feel like they're a part of the college and being here. I think from CIC program perspective, our students take courses in their core CIC program, but they are integrated into different program areas of interest and general electives. And so the integration piece, they're registered in the classes, they attend class with an integration facilitator and are participating in that class and all that's required of it. But inclusion happens when, for example, students in that class will invite our students to join a group if they're doing an in-class group assignment, or, engage in conversation with them and, continue to do that outside of the classroom. Or if, they see them in the cafeteria having lunch and sit down and have lunch with them. That's inclusion. That's that sense of belonging. And even when faculty, who many have done over the years, invite our students then to participate in different events or activities that their program are hosting and including our students, and that's inclusion, and that's really important. And when we see that, that's a beautiful thing. So it's really important.
Yeah, I think, just being able to, from a staff, faculty aspect of it, being able to see that students, we come from all different places on Turtle Island, and being able to turn that staff faculty lens off, and kind of looking back at where you started even, or kind of putting your feet in those shoes. Like I'll use an example from like most of our students in that are regulars in Appiwin. They come in from flying reserves. This place is new to them in a sense that, okay, they might have came here for high school and all that, but this whole place is new. It's a new experience, possibly new to the Thunder Bay. So just being able to have that understanding will change your perspective on it, on whatever the issue, or it doesn't need to be necessarily an issue, but just where they're coming from. And then wait, question 4? Oh, last one. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay, include, and we'll see you at the feast tomorrow, right? That'll be the most inclusive place on campus tomorrow for sure.
All right. And absolutely, I really want to, once again, really recognize the wonderful diversity that we have here because, you know, when it comes to fostering a spirit of community and connection and inclusion, it happens at every level, whether we're striving to join something that's existing, create something new, whether we're making sure that we're being intentional and including people in what we're doing, whether it is a smile and a hello to a colleague or a student or anybody in the community who is at our college, it all matters and it all adds up. So as I said, we are spoiled for choice here at Confederation College for the number of wonderful people who are building a stronger sense of community here. So before I close off and release everybody to lunch, I just want to give my panel one last chance. Anything else you'd like to share before we part ways?
Well, as I said, if you want to support the local community in a number of ways, the Confederation College Performing Arts Club is putting on a lip sync musical this Friday and Saturday called Dance of Destiny. You've probably seen the posters around the college. Tickets are $20 for the general public and $10 for students. And proceeds for it will be donated to the Hospice Northwest in honor of a club member who sadly passed away last year while in palliative care. So we wanted to honor his memory and also help other people who either are or have family in a similar situation. So come out and watch. It's a very fun show. I play a wizard who just wants to be left alone. I can't imagine why.
Thank you. Something too that we notice is that when college staff will stop by our space. So Jerry Lynn, not too long ago, she knocked on my door and she said, "Let your students know there's breakfast down in Appywin. We'd love to see them down there." So little things like that. That's the inclusion thing too, eh? The inclusion piece. So that's really appreciated as well. And since you had mentioned about fundraising, our second year students are actually holding a Valentine's fundraiser right now. So if you walk by our CIC space, they're selling raffle tickets there as well to fundraise for their graduation dinner and dance. Thank you.
Winter feast tomorrow. 11:30 to 1:30. Oh, I didn't know I was getting this much time. In the student lounge here. Any other question? Miigwech.
All right, and with that, I'd like to offer a big miigwech to my panel today for talking a little bit about the community that we've got here. So if my eyes don't deceive me, I can see that there's food being brought to the side table right there. So if you'd like to help yourself to a wonderful lunch as offered by Suki, thank you so much for being here today.